Tiny Tim cherry tomato plants started from seed. Now we put them in the little moisture chamber, the little small flood table, I think it is called. And we left them there from seed for about a week. We left them a little bit longer than we probably should have. If I were to change something, I probably would have put them in the chamber a week earlier and then taken them out to let them dry a little bit more before we took them out. Because I feel like our cherry tomatoes were a little slower behind, possibly even a week behind for the growth rate. They weren't blooming and creating fruit as fast as the other ones were. But we stuck them in the pots. We did one per pot, and we decided to do a little side experiment. We're like, what would happen if we stuck 3 in one pot? Now, the single ones grew very tall. They were vigorous and they had a lot of growth and leaves and all that on the side. But the one where we put 3 in, it was kind of competing for space and nutrients, and it's kind of just created this big bush. Now it was impressive because last week when I checked on it, it actually had formed some cherry tomatoes on there, and that was pretty good. During the first week, we did a little bit of normal feed, and then we kind of just slowly did water every other day, maybe every 3 days, and kind of just, communicated back and forth who was watering when, what day they did that, and we left a big sign saying, please don't water, because we didn't want anyone else to overwater our plants. But overall, the Tiny Tim cherry tomatoes grew very well. As I said, what I would do differently is I would have taken it out of the germination chamber earlier, so I had a chance to really dry up and produce faster, because I noticed the other group that did that and took theirs out earlier, they did germinate it earlier, they did put the seed in earlier, but they also took it out for less time, and they grew a lot faster and had better fruit and all that. So I think our side experiment with the triple-decker Tiny Tim tomato planter didn't go as well as we thought it would, but it was still pretty cool to see and try because it just kind of created this big bush. And I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if we put that outside or put it into a way bigger pot to see if it would just grow this mound of tomatoes. Can of planter mixers. So we decided to put our faith in Zoe, our professional planter designer, for the design portion of it. But we picked out the coleus, the potato vine, the lantanas, and the canna lilies. Now, we chose this based on presentation of the foliage. We kind of wanted something that would last a little longer, and it wouldn't just get a flower and die off soon. We also thought about the timing of it all, because it's more of a long-lasting aesthetic opposed to, like I said, just getting these flowers that might just die out before the assessment is due. We also kind of just wanted a more unique look because everyone was going to do a bit of a flower. We decided to pinch the lantanas so they would bloom a lot slower, and thankfully we did because they didn't start showing until the last week here. Yeah, we just wanted something that would look great, impress the judges, and would have a long-lasting, beautiful look. So we went with that. We carefully, week by week, did a little pruning here and there and making it look pretty and perfect. And we were very careful with the watering and the sunlight and the temperature and the climate and all that. I wouldn't do anything differently for that, honestly. I think we did that pretty perfect. I'm very happy with the results of that, and I hope we win. I had a lot of fun. Thank you.